Hey guys, just wanted to do a quick video here and give you an update on our sawmill planer. So we originally built this thing to go on our LT 15 wide wood miser, and it worked really good, but we have since then sold that sawmill and now have an LT 40 with hydraulics. So we've got that cooking now. So I ended up making a new, basically copied the rail off of the LT 15 wide, basically same specs, width, whatever, pretty much just copied the whole frame and whatnot. Really simple. So we basically have built this whole thing from scratch, and it's a separate unit from our sawmill. I've always had intentions of putting a Powerfeed on here and just been kicking around ideas and just never really came up with anything real good until here, a month or two ago, we ended up buying a bunch of, I don't know what the technical term is, roller table, conveyor table, basically for rolling material. They just have a ton of those like 1.5-inch diameter rollers spaced out just all in a line. But as part of that auction lot, we also got a conveyor. It's like everything, there's a lot of, it's really weird because it's all pretty much, it looked brand new for the most part, obviously old stock, but had been sitting around for a while, but it looked like it had never been used. But part of that, there was the motor, 3-phase motor with a worm drive gearbox. So that's turning pretty slow, and ours is a kind of a bonus deal, but we're gonna take that, and then I also have a VFD, which is a variable frequency drive. This particular model I got, it's just a really cheap one. I'm gonna try it, see what happens. I didn't want to dump a ton of money. I just got off of Amazon. It's like 60 or 70 bucks, but I think it should do everything I need. It is single phase in, 3-phase out, and then it has basically a speed control, and then this is your backwards and forwards, so you can control back and forwards, and then also your speed as well. I could have gotten, they do make these where it's 3-phase in, 3-phase out, but because this one was a little bit cheaper, it just, and it didn't really affect anything, but your higher quality ones probably could have just got a 3-phase in, 3-phase out, but it still gives you the reverse and the speed control. So between that speed control, we're basically controlling the hertz. You're at 60 hertz typically, but this you can dial pretty much all the way down. And then with my worm drive gearbox, let me shoot you. So I've got that worm drive gearbox attached to the motor, which what is the ratio on this? Nope. Where are we at? I know I saw a ratio on here. Here we are. Which way is up? Okay, I'm not sure if this is focusing. So 60 is the ratio. So 60 to 1. So this motor is 1700. I'm trying to think what the math is. So our motor is 1700. I'll try and put the RPM, calculator the RPM here. Put it on the screen here, but it's 1700 is your typical RPM. Divide that by 60, plus with the variable speed control on the Freak drive, we can cut that even in over half of that number. So we should have plenty of control as far as speed, and then obviously we have the forwards and reverse. So right now I'm basically setting up, this is going to get mounted onto the frame right here, and then we've got to we'll run a chain along here that'll loop, kind of do a S over the sprocket on the motor, and then there will be an idler pulley as well. But that is the plan for today. We're gonna see how far we get. It's one of those deals, just a lot of trying to figure out what the best layout is. And then, you know, for my idler, I got to figure out how to position my idler and my motor. And the motor will be stationary to the main carriage of this, but I have to watch out for the portion, the head that goes up and down. I got to make sure I don't interfere with that. There's just a lot of moving parts. And then as far as clearing on the ends, making sure my idler and motor are within that perimeters. So we're gonna start welding some pieces together. I've already got the plate made for what the motor will mount to. I'm getting ready to weld that on, and then we're gonna have to add some bracing and a bracket for the idler pulley, and then 2 brackets for the chain to attach on either end of the frame. And basically that chain's just gonna go and it'll loop. It'll be coming along, loop around the motor, and then do a S and go back the other way around the idler pulley. So it basically just does a long straight run and then an S, and then the controller will be on the head, so you'll walk along with that, and but that'll be powering the head back and forth. It's one of those deals, you can run this manually. We've done that for a long time, but you know, you start doing that for a day, you know, you do that for a full day, and it wears you out. And hopefully this will improve that, the you know, as far as how much we can do in a day and not be wearing ourselves out. And also just keep a little bit safer too, as far as, you know, anytime you're feeding something manually, it's like, you know, you can run material through a table saw, but if you put a you know, a stock feeder on there, or even just like our rip saw right here, you know, it's just way safer if you can let a machine run the material through versus you know, pushing that by hand. Some of you guys may be wondering what happened here. I dropped a slab on it here 2 weeks ago and fractured my fingertip, so I've been running around with middle finger, very ready to get this off, but it takes a little while when you break a finger to heal up 100%, but we're still working with that. We're gonna get going on this. I'm gonna try and maybe take a few clips of the process, but then hopefully we'll do a follow-up video once we kind of get everything running. And I'm excited. Hopefully we'll be making shavings here pretty soon. So we've got action. So we've got action. That is full speed right there. Hit the reverse button. The wiring right now is hodgepodge. I don't have the right wire, right size and everything, right style of wire. But I just wanted to get it started. See what we can do to make a move. So this dial goes from 0 to 65. I am not a expert electrician, but I believe in the US it's 60 hertz. I'm not sure, so I'm not sure quite what the 65 is. But we have forward and reverse, which it's backwards. So we have stop is engaged and it's in forward mode, which is actually opposite. I need to switch. On 3-phase, all you gotta do is switch. You have 3 hot wires. All you gotta do is switch 1 or 2 leads around and it will switch the rotation of your motors. So I need to flip that around. So we're gonna go forward, which is actually reverse. So now we're in reverse, stop. We're gonna hit run full. And it has a soft start, so it ramps up. We've got our chain doing an S there. And then we can just hit, once we get to the end of our slab, switch it around. It winds down and then winds back up. It's one of those deals, like, it would be nice to have a little quicker, stop there. It'd be nice to have a little quicker backward speed, but we'll have to play around with that and see what we can do. That is one thing. I mean, you do have a range, but not quite as like a DC motor. You can really dial those things. But it gets a little bit more complicated setup. But I think I need to figure out what to do with this VFD. I'm not sure how I'm going to mount that. Where it's at right now is in the way because this head doesn't have enough room. This on-off switch already has enough. It's too low, so this needs to be mounted somewhere off to the side. Maybe we might go above it. Something, I don't know. But obviously this is all wide open. Not how we're going to leave it. We'll get the proper wiring and route that all in and make it so we aren't, you don't want to be catching that with slab or whatever, tripping on that and ripping that all out. We need to get that all routed in and zip tied and whatnot. But we are making progress. I'm gonna call it a day. It's Saturday afternoon. Need to go spend some time with the kids. Been a long week, so we will finish this up probably next week and hopefully get her going and maybe get a video of get it in action. Well, it is Monday morning and it's raining, as you can hear. I can't really see it, but I'm not gonna complain. Working on an elm slab for a customer. They want basically a 25 by 48. Well, if I can get the right angle here. Here we are. 25 by 48 slab. This is like 60 by 27 or something. We're gonna cut it down, but figure we might as well put this thing to use while we're figuring it out. But playing with our VFD, and I want to shoot a video here. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what's going on while I do it. I'm sure the audio is not going to be great because I have my dust collector going and this motor's going, and everything gets a little loud. But I'm not running it right now. I have it at 65. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me get in a little closer. 65 hertz. You know, when I'm first getting started, you can go pretty fast because you're not, you know, you're only hitting every now and then. But you know, I found when you start taking a full pass, I kick it down to about 40. Seems to be about the right speed. And then I'm doing a climb cut backwards. I've done that even just pushing it. You'd have to do a really light cut coming back, but you can do a climb cut on this. But now with the Powerfeed, everything is a lot more, you know, fixed. So it's you can take a little bit bigger bite. But I'm running into, when I built this thing originally, I just have the bearings on top, and like a sawmill will have bearings on the side, on the bottom as well to counteract your lateral force, and that's what I'm running into. Going forward isn't too bad, but when I'm cutting back, this side is wanting to pull tight, and kind of it surges a little bit. But I think I tested it where basically I was holding that side away from the rail, and that really smoothed out the cut. So I think if I put a bearing on the bottom, probably all four corners, or at least that one and that one, because it's basically because the drive side, it's pulling on this side. It always wants to, basically, that's a way exaggeration, but it always wants to kilter over, and so I need to I think put some bearings there, something to counteract that. But we're gonna try and do a video. I still have yet to get my wiring. I need to run into town and pick some stuff up, get the right wiring. Definitely not kosher, but we'll shoot a video and see if we can get some good footage of this thing in action. So here's a product off of that. Need to change some teeth, leaving a little bit of lip on that, but this thing isn't a super fine finish, but it does get it flat. You know, if it's warped, twisted, cupped, whatever, it'll get it flat and you can sand it from there. I'm sure once we get that feed smoothed out, you can see, I don't know if it's gonna be, yeah, there you can see kind of those ripples, and I think that's just from the surging, I guess. But I think we're heading in the right direction. I think this will be a huge time saver, back saver, once we get everything dialed in. I need to come up with some way to lock that, you know, the motor slides side to side, and I want to come up with some sort of handle to the side so I'm not leaning over, and then some sort of lock, you know, a clamp or something. I don't think it'd take too much, but something just to be able to lock that so it doesn't slide sideways. You can go wherever you want, one side, you know, you're doing different passes. You need to be able to lock that down. But like I said, I think we're heading in the right direction. We're gonna fiddle with it a little bit more, but I think we're gonna call this video a wrap, and we'll hopefully work on this, and maybe we'll do an update here in the next month or two once we kind of get stuff dialed in a little bit better. But really excited. This has been on the to-do list for a long time, and finally making it happen. So I think we're going to call that a wrap on this video. Appreciate you guys watching. If you got comments, ideas, suggestions, man, feel free to leave us a comment below, and we'll do our best to respond to that. I love hearing other people's ideas of just, you know, ways to improve. I am by no means I don't really consider myself a awesome fab guy, but I can make stuff work. But I'm sure there's better ways, and if you guys got suggestions, I would love to hear them. So leave a comment, we appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.